Hey everybody, Dr. LeGrand here at Nature's Health Clinic. I'm super excited about today's live stream because we're going to be talking about what natural treatments that are out there for ADHD without the use of medications. I get this question asked a lot, and I do see several patients come in for ADHD, and these are things that I will typically recommend. Now, it's not an extensive, exhaustive list because there's lots of different treatment options out there, but I'm just going to kind of go over my few pointers here. Now, if you're just jumping on the live stream, go ahead and leave in the comment section below if you have any questions about ADHD. I'll try to answer as best as I can. Even towards the end of the live stream, I'll try to answer what I can. So let's go and dive in. So the first thing I want to kind of discuss about is first, there's several different things. We're going to talk about different supplements. We're going to talk about different foods, different other things that you should be implementing that could be contributing to the cause of ADHD. We'll talk about neurofeedback, mindfulness, lots of several different things. So first off, let's talk about supplements, different supplements. This is questions asked a lot of what can benefit ADHD. Now, of course, there is no complete cure is what I would say. There's not one type of supplement that's going to be the magic pill. Just like with ADHD medications, it isn't always the magic pill to be able to cure ADHD. It isn't necessarily a cure. It's more about helping with the symptoms, or not necessarily even the symptoms. It's more what we're dealing with is, attention, trying to improve attention as well as improve hyperactivity, behavioral activity, and those things. So first, diving into the supplements. A few things that I do recommend a lot is herbs that are called ginkgo biloba or rosemary extractive leaf. These two types of herbs can be very beneficial with people who have attention issues, so someone with ADHD, because what it does, it actually improves and enhances blood flow and circulation to the brain. So that's really significant to be able to help with this. This is something that I know I've struggled with when I was going through school because I dealt with a lot of attention issues, dyslexia and stuff like that. And I used ginkgo biloba and rosemary on a consistent basis while I was going through college and medical school. It really helped me kind of narrow my focus and be able to concentrate for longer periods of time, especially even when I was studying. So I use this a lot, and I use it a lot with my patients that do help improve with that. So the next supplement that I would also recommend is L-glutamine. L-glutamine is actually an amino acid protein, a precursor to GABA, which GABA is actually ultimately used to help us relax, to kind of calm down, to kind of calm the mind in a sense, to be able to make our mind more clear and have more clarity. So you got to be careful with obviously a lot of these different things. If you're on certain medications, you always got to check with your doctor first before implementing any of these because it could be contraindicated. But the next thing that I also would recommend is something is choline and phosphatidylserine. We use this type of nutrient that actually improves, enhance memory. We also use this for a lot of people with Alzheimer's that are suffering with Alzheimer's or just with memory loss, is using these two types of nutrients that are very important to use. Choline and phosphatidylserine can also be very beneficial with people who have ADHD or attention issues to help with cognitive improvement. Okay, the next thing is herb that I do like to recommend is gotukula. Gotukula is a great anxiolytic type of herb. It has been shown to actually help with both anxiety and also with ADHD, with helping with clearing the mind, because it has those anxiolytic properties and can be very beneficial. Now, a lot of people with ADHD tend to also have anxiety issues. Not always the case, but that also can be a possibility with having anxiety. So also addressing the anxiety situation can only exacerbate ADHD. So we kind of want to make sure we're addressing all aspects that could be contributing to ADHD. The next supplements that I do, you probably have heard of this one, of course, is fish oils. A lot of people a lot of parents who have kids with ADHD will always put them on a fish oil. This one's really heavily pushed, but what isn't talked about, looking at the research, it does help with certain symptoms with ADHD, but of course, with the dosage, it's more about the quality of types of fish oils. So usually with fish oils, you have the EPA and DHA. Usually they have different ratios with different fish oils, but usually with the research that I've seen, trying to get about 650 milligrams of EPA as well as about 200 milligrams of the DHEA. So those are things that you should look for. Every type of fish oil is going to be different in the ratios. Just look at the back of the bottle to see if it's in that range. So the next supplement, last, again, this is not an extensive, exhausted list. There's plenty other out there, but these are kind of the big ones, is taking B vitamins. B vitamins are really helpful for a lot of mood enhancement, also with anxiety and ADHD and energy that can help improve. So make sure you're getting good quality of B vitamins. The next category is looking at foods. This is a big category that a lot of parents ask about, or even adults that are dealing with ADHD, as far as what types of foods should I eat and what should I avoid. So as far as with avoiding foods, you definitely want to make sure if you have any allergies to rule those out completely. So if you have some heavy hitter allergies, whether it be wheat, dairy, or even, eggs or nuts, anything those big heavy hitters, if you have a suspicion that you have food allergies, you definitely want to eliminate that, because that can exacerbate inflammation. It can cause, brain fog, things like that do hinder people with ADHD. So you want to make sure to rule that out completely. The other thing that they've seen in research also is that food colorings and food additives in foods can make ADHD a much bigger problem when you're incorporating more of those types of foods. So what should you be adding? Well, you definitely want to be eating more wholesome foods. Definitely high proteins and healthy fats. I see a lot of my patients, kids usually have a hard time getting good amounts of protein in their diet. They usually tend to more towards the carbs and sugars, which is definitely what you want to start avoiding more of. Definitely getting good amounts of healthy carbs, but trying to get rid of the simple carbs, the sugars, the processed foods, and enhancing more wholesome meats, dark meats, different healthy fats to incorporate. And then, of course, vegetables is going to be a huge one to start incorporating. And obviously, this is very difficult with kids. So if you could do a smoothie, a juice, a veggie juice, something to get the vegetables in, or even if a powder, sure, it's not going to be the best quality, but something in the kids' diet, or even for adults, to be able to get on a daily basis, because it has lots of different vitamins that are important for kids with ADHD or adults with ADHD. Okay, so next category is talking about is sleep and exercise. This is really important. So usually, a lot of times there's underlying causes of why people might have attention issues. They might be fatigued, or, there could be also reasons why the hyperactivity. So with sleep, there could be a contribution where you're getting lack of sleep, and this causes attention issues to be a problem, especially for kids, something that's overlooked at. So make sure you're getting good quality sleep. If you're not, definitely seeing a sleep specialist, somebody that actually can help with that. We do that a lot here at our clinic. But the other thing is also exercise. Kids, when they are going to school all day long, they are definitely mentally fatigued and they need an outbreak. And they usually at schools don't have enough recess time to kind of allow that energy. And they kind of need to be more in nature, things like that. Exercise is going to be very important as far as to help with the attention, also hyperactivity. The few last couple things here is looking at mindfulness therapy, also mindful meditation. So meditation can be difficult for kids. It might take a while before they're probably teenagers to be able to kind of start incorporating more of these practices, is to start practicing meditation to help kind of relax, because anxiety becomes a big contributing factor with ADHD. So definitely trying to do practice of that. Behavioral therapist, finding a good behavioral therapist has shown really helpful for people with ADHD. And then the other thing that is really important to look at is neurofeedback, something that we incorporate at our clinic here at Nature's Health Clinic. If you guys are not new where we are located here in Covington, Washington, and we are a naturopathic family practice here in Covington, Washington. So basically what neurofeedback is, it's pretty much basically giving exercise for the brain. It gives us a chance to see the brainwave activity of what is out of balance and be able to use software, usually through a game or something, as far as a video or sound feedback that can help basically tell the brain where it needs to start improving. And this can really help with basically the side effects from not have to deal with the side effects that medications come along with, but also can really improve attention hyperactivity. In fact, almost just as good as the medications they've seen in research without the side effects. So this is definitely something I really highly encourage about neurofeedback. If you've not heard about neurofeedback, I highly encourage you to definitely research it more. You can check out our website. We have a whole page about neurofeedback, what it entails, all the research behind it. Okay, and you check out our website just following the link. So the other thing that a few want to talk about is, especially for kids or even college students that are still in school, or even at work, trying to do tasks that are just minuscule and really tedious and boring for kids. Thing is that was helped me significantly when I was struggling with attention in school and just hated school, just hated it. Okay. What I had to implement is more creative ways to be able to learn. And this could be such as simple things such as mind mapping for people who are more visual learners, but trying to find creative avenues for kids, because the reason why, a lot of times they'll come back from school and have outbursts, or even in school, it's because they just find these subjects boring and not very, engaging for them. They see no reason why to even implement it. But if you can implement a more engaging way, especially if you're a more visual learner, or maybe a kid who's more into music or athletics, it might be more hands-on, looking at different techniques to learn these types of boring subjects for them to make it more fun and more engaging. It takes a lot more work on the parents' part and also maybe a tutor or teachers, but it does make a huge difference, especially with behavioral outcomes of outbursts, to be able to kind of reduce this aspect. Okay. So the last thing I kind of want to make sure I emphasize on this before I go is other possible underlying causes that could be contributing to ADHD. This is something I look at my clinic to be able to make sure we're ruling out any possibilities. But, there's definitely the possibility of, mercury or lead poisoning that do contribute to ADHD, but also things such as anemia that is possible. We have to rule that out. That can contribute to fatigue as well as low attention, be able to happily reduce that because of anemia. Thyroid issues is also a possibility. I do see that sometimes in kids where that could be contributing to the attention hyperactivity issue. Adrenals, so sometimes when kids tend to be more fatigued, also mentally fatigued, adrenals can be under par and need to be supported, as well as looking at poor digestion. Poor digestion can be a huge problem if they're having digestive issues. If they're having digestive issues, that means they're probably having malnutrition issues. And if we're having malnutrition issues, obviously we're not able to support the body, especially the brain, where brain needs lots of different food. So we definitely need to address that. And there's different ways of looking at that. I hope this, was very helpful for you guys. If you have more further questions about ADHD, please leave in the comment section below. I'll try to answer as many questions as I possibly can. And until next time, if you have any further questions and want another live stream on a particular topic, go leave that in the comment section below. Until next time, this is Dr. LeGrand here at Nature's Health Clinic, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.